Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the United Way for the Manchester United versus West Ham Premier League preview. Just before we get stuck into the video, this is a pre-recorded video, by the way, just to make sure everyone knows. So, let us know your comments or your predictions, and let us know your thoughts on that Brighton game on Thursday. By the way, we knocked them out on penalties. They beat us on penalties. So let's just say Karma came back and bit us. But we have to preview against West Ham. This is pre-recorded on a Friday night, so excuse this. But yeah, we have the preview, which it's against West Ham, a side who are having a bit of a weird season. Let's be honest, they're not having the greatest season. But let's just hope, but then look at our away form. Our away form away from home. It's not the best. It's not the best, especially against like the top 6, top 7. But every time we play West Ham, it's still a very tight game, you could say. Some would say it's a tight game. Some would say we just get a 1-goal win. But hopefully we can go there and score goals, because that's our problem this season. And it's why we need basically a world-class striker, if you want to say, to come in, because we need those. We need a striker to finish those simple chances. And I know Rashford's been there, to help us, but he's not a striker. He's a winger, but he's not a striker. I know he can play striker, but some would say Rashford on the left wing is his preferred and his best position. No, I agree. I don't mind him down playing striker, but on the wings, he's a Rashford. I think of Rashford on the left wing next season with Harry Kane or Osimhen, and then Anthony on the right hand side. That's brilliant, but we need to have a Kane or Osimhen in there. Didn't work with Cristiano Ronaldo. Not working with Weghorst. Martial has his moments. I want to talk about Martial, by the way, but I just want to give me thoughts on the game against Brighton. Actually, this is what I usually do at previews. It was a bit of a weird, not a bit of a weird game. We didn't do too bad in the first half. We had the better chances. Obviously, Brighton, brilliant team. They play football, brilliant. They're very calm on the ball. Let's just say they're not afraid to give any team a game, whether it's a Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle, Manchester United, if I haven't mentioned them already. Doesn't matter what team you are, if you play Brighton, whether it's home or away, they're going to give you a game. Well, especially at home. And, you look at that match, second half, we were poor again. I don't know what's wrong with Manchester United in second half away. At home, we played the first and second half brilliant. Obviously, Sevilla, that kind of started off our bad habits. But let's just say that hopefully Ten Hag, can at the end of the season can work on this. Not just him, but hopefully him and the team can work on this, because if you want to be competing for titles, and if we are in the Champions League next season, you are going to play these big teams away. So we have to up our game for next season if we want to be competing for every single trophy that be up for grab next season. Look at Wembley. It's away from your own park. It's a neutral stadium. Hopefully we can go and beat Man City there. Oh, God. Sometimes I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to the final. When we win, I'm like, I can't wait for the final. Then when we lose, I'm like, oh, Jesus, seriously, City. But listen, you have to give City credit. I'm not giving credit. The credit's there. Take it or leave it. Again, Luke Shaw. I'm not going to hit on Luke Shaw because I thought he had a decent game against Brighton. He's had to play centre back a decent few times this season, and I'm sure Ten Hag wasn't, he was hardly planning on Martinez and Varane getting an injury, but Luke Shaw has done well playing that position. So just one moment that decided the game. I'm not going to hit out on Luke Shaw. I don't know why his hand was up that high. He even said it himself. I don't know why my hand was up that high. Nobody does, but nothing he can do now. It was, Ten Hag wasn't happy with the ref. He had a bit of a shocking game, but then some will probably say, well, Casemiro should have got sent off, and so should have Anthony. So, listen, that's behind us now. Fortunately, we didn't get the 3 points. We got to the stage in the game, especially in the second half, the way we were playing. I thought, yeah, I'll take a point, decent point. It's not a win, but I'll take it. And then we got nothing out of it. And yeah, everyone, Rashford and even look at that attack. It was flat. Everyone even said it. The attack was flat. Rashford flat. Martial flat. Anthony flat. Bruno flat. Like everyone, no one had a great game in that second half. No one, like even in the first half. Not that anyone stood out, but we had a better first and second half. So, and I thought we were matching Brighton. We defended well up until that penalty. But listen, unfortunately, this is football for you. And yeah, I mean, what can you do? It's a part of it. It's it's the joy as a sport. Well, not the joy, but it's part of sport. And football's a cruel game, and it's funny we still love it. So, but listen, that's behind us. Let us know your thoughts on that game in the comments. Just if anything you want to throw it out in the comments. I really appreciate it. And again, I'm not going to say it at the end of the show. I'll probably will say at the end of the show again to remind people. But we did a show on Thursday, so the Thursday just gone. If you're watching this on a Saturday or whatever day, Thursday the 4th of May, we did a brilliant interview with Ben Jacobs. He gives an update on the Manchester United ownership, bit of insight, whatever question that you've been looking to get answered, he's basically gave you an answer to. So make sure to go over there. I'll put a link into that into the description below, and hit the subscribe button. I like, we want to give people good content, and I feel like we're doing well. Hopefully we can have a bit of a rise from here. But yeah, listen, we played West Ham on Sunday. Keep forgetting because this is pre-recording on Friday, so I'm not used to pre-recording previews. But we play West Ham on Sunday, away from home again. So, West Ham again, as I said, having a bit of a weird season. They're probably not as where they'd like to be. There was a stage where every game was probably David Moyes' last. People were like, get rid of him, sack David Moyes. He's not good enough anymore. And I watched the game. I watched the last 10-20 minutes of the game they played against Crystal Palace. I mean, ever since Roy Hodgson took over, Crystal Palace has been brilliant. I mean, can Big Sam do the same to Man City? I doubt it. Honestly, I doubt it. I mean, West Ham this season, you could say, in a relegation fight, if you want, you can if you want. But, they're 15th in the league with 34 points, 4 points ahead of Nottingham Forest, who are in 18th. They have 9 wins, 7 defeats, and 7 losses and 18 defeats. Sorry, with the goal difference of. My phone's acting up again. A goal difference of minus 13. And again, we're 4th place, 63 points, goal difference of 9, 19 wins, 6 draws, and 8 defeats. So you could say we've had a better season than them. Obviously, as I said, we're 4th in the league, but even looking at us, you know what I mean? Even looking at us, like, every game is crucial. Every game for Manchester United is crucial. If you want to finish top 4 and you're, 4 or 5 points ahead of Liverpool, every game is a final. I mean, there's like 4 or 5 games left for Manchester United, and just say, for example, we go and we get a draw against West Ham. We'd be still not top 4th, but we'd be only 2 points ahead of them. And that's not ideal. We need to just keep winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. We have a game in hand over Liverpool. We don't have a game in hand over Newcastle. The Brighton game, I think, was our game in hand. I'll talk about top 4 near the end, but it's going to be an interesting race. I still think we'll finish top four, but we have to up our game. Like, no excuses from here on in. No excuses from here on in. Just finish top four and then focus on the FA Cup final against City. Just focus, because you know a lot of people are like, we can't bottle top four, and if we bottle top four and Liverpool finish above us, like, it's just going to be so annoying. Like, it really, really is. It really is. But listen, you could say injuries have cost us, but I've kind of yeah, I've kind of came to some sort of agreement under Ten Hag that I haven't came up with a lot of excuses under Ten Hag. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've come up with excuses, but not a lot. But if we don't finish top four, I swear to God, the fan base will go mental. Like, listen to this: Glazers stay, and we don't finish top four, and we get slapped in the FA Cup final. Like, fucking hell! Like, Jesus! Like, that's just. I don't even think anyone, like, people would be more pissed off that the Glazers are staying, but still, we cannot. We have top four. It's in our hands, and if we let it slip out of our hands, well, I can't sit here and say, "Oh well, do you remember that game? Do you remember that game?" And this, no, you bottled it. You bottled it. We're all serious like an Arsenal that, bottled top four, bottled top four, bottled the title, blah 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 blah. Let's just at the moment. But I think we'll make top four. I do. I think we'll make top four, but I'll talk about that in the end. This upcoming game against West Ham, am I confident? Yes, I think we get the 3 points. I really, really am. As I said, when we play West Ham, we always beat them by like a single goal or two. We played them in the Premier League and it finished 1-0. Then we played them in the FA Cup and it finished 3-1. So we win, but we don't win comfortably. We got 2 late goals against West Ham, so it's always been a 1-goal, 2-goal win, whether it's for Manchester United or West Ham. We're the favourites coming into this game, as you'd expect, but our away form is a bit concerning at the moment. And as I spoke about it, what's the problem? Is it mentality? Is it something that's been said in the dressing room before the games? Is it the tension or the pressure, or just the opposition fans? Like, is it just new surroundings? Like, don't get me wrong, you can use them as excuses all you want, but we play. It's not like they're a newly promoted team. Like, they've been in the Premier League a good few years now. Like, same with the rest of the teams we struggle to beat away from home. So we really have to up our game. Like, I just want to, Brentford, Palace. Obviously, these aren't in order. I'm just thinking about the top of my head. Brentford, Palace, City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Newcastle, Spurs, Brighton, Palace, if I haven't mentioned that already. Beat Southampton away, we beat Everton away, we beat Forest away, we beat Wolves away. We don't go in there and we go straight for the kill. And that's, we beat the teams that are in lower positions. So hopefully West Ham, because they're in a lower position this season, we can get the win. They have Declan Rice, Souček, whether they're available, it's up to them and David Moyes. But it is it's a bit concerning, and hopefully we can sort it out, because I'm sure Ten Hag knows. He's been asked about it in the press conference, and he just kind of said, I don't focus whether if it's home or away, I just focus on the game in general. Maybe you should. I love Ten Hag. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love Ten Hag, but look into it a lot more. In fairness to the profile, he probably doesn't have a clue what's going to happen in the summer with the ownerships and that kind of stuff. Whether he be getting the backing or whatever. But it's hard to know what the problem is at Manchester United. It really, really is. I know Manchester United away, just away. Home, no problem home form. I mean, it's funny. When Ollie was the manager, we had a great away form and poor home form. Now it's great home form, poor away form. Hopefully Ten Hag can maybe say, maybe we can play well at home and away. Because if you want to compete, you have to play well home and away. So hopefully that's something we can do. I mean, we'll go through Ten Hag's press quotes as we always do. Ten Hag says Alejandro Garnacho could be involved against West Ham. I know, 18 years of age and I'm doing this. Sorry, Garnacho's 18 years of age and I'm doing this. It would be nice to have him back. Bit of a extra option there, a decent option. What a year he's having at the club anyways, or what a season. Anyways, Ten Hag, every time in the season when we have a defeat, we bounce back. I count on my players. We have to do it again. So there's no time to stay in this, whatever he means by this. So 1 hour, we go to the game versus West Ham United and all focus on that and we prepare for them. He says, you make a good plan. The players have to take responsibility. They will do. So I count on them and they have to do it and they can do it because we have the evidence in the season every time when we had disappointments, they bounce back. Again, back to Garnacho. Ten Hag on availability. I think will be the same squad. Maybe one player, Garnacho, have to see. Maybe he can be involved, but we have to see how the progress will go. Then he spoke about Ten Hag on top. Ten Hag speaking about top 4. He says, I just explained, we had quite a good run from the last 5 games, 4 wins and a draw. We have everything in our hands, so we have to focus on our performance. I trust my players, and I'm quite convinced about that. Then he spoke about Anthony going his passion going mental between him and Lewis Dunk. I think his passion is his strength, and of course, until a certain level, you have to control it, but you need passion and desire to win games and to win battles in the game, and I think this tool is very strong in him. He says he's very ambitious, but as I say, don't go over the top. Stay focused on the game and the team and what the game needs. And if he's doing that, he is a great player. I think his performance and his improvement is quite obvious and clear. Then he spoke about West Ham. That's very bright, Jesus Christ. Then he spoke about West Ham. He says, it's as you say, an experience. He's Moyes, obviously speaking about Moyes, a fantastic manager, so long in the Premier League, and I'm looking forward to it. He says, we have faced them twice this season because also we faced them in the FA Cup. It's going to be another great game. Every game is a battle, every game is a challenge, so we have to get ready for that game. Then he spoke about the return to the champion. Ten Hag on return to the Champions League, hopefully. Of course, we need to be there in the Champions League, and we want to be there because we want the challenge with the best teams in the world, so we do everything that is in our power to get that done. He says, I think it is always vital we have to be in the Champions League. It's a battle because in the Premier League, many teams are competing and they have the power to fight for that. We want to be there and we will do everything to get there. Then David Moyes speaking about Manchester United as well. Obviously he spoke about Alejandro Garnacho coming back, and I hope he does come back. I thought Garnacho was, before that injury, I thought he was flying. That injury has kind of, not dampen his season, but just when Garnacho's available, he's a brilliant player. I'm trying to fix his green screen. It's hard to do so. When Garnacho is available, Garnacho is a decent player. I have to give it to him. Garnacho is decent, but he's not available, so it's hard. It was a shame to see him out for 4 to 8 weeks or something like that. I'm not sure what it was, but he missed the international break there not too long ago. So hopefully he's back for Sunday, and it'd be nice to have him back. It really, really would be nice to have him back. It really, really would. But yeah, I mean, as I spoke about, is top four in danger? I don't think so, but we have to up our game, and I think we'll make top four. But we have West Ham, then we play. I think we have Wolves, then Bournemouth, then Chelsea and Fulham. I'm not sure whether that's in the correct order, but two away games. Well, we have those 4 or 5. We have 2 away games and 3 home games. So, and the 2 away games aren't against tough opponents. No disrespect. I think Bournemouth and West Ham. Am I wrong? Yeah, I think that's it. Which I don't think it's in danger. I don't think it is. But listen, the question is, and I always do this: how can West Ham beat Manchester United? Basically, do what Brighton tried to do. I'm not sure whether do West Ham have the players that Brighton do. West Ham have the players to do that. I'm not sure. You see what they're doing against Palace or Arsenal when they came from 2 goals down to back to 2-2. Just if you put Manchester United under pressure, eventually they're gonna crumble. Eventually, we're gonna crumble, and you've seen it. Luke Shaw handle. I wouldn't say it was a crumble, but tensions and nerves and all were all over the place at that time. But that's basically just press Manchester United and don't back off. And how can we beat West Ham? Basically press them, be aggressive, and the counter-attack stuff again, but try and play with style as well. But listen, I'm going to go through West Ham's form. The last 5 games in the Premier League, they drew 2-2 against Arsenal, beat Bournemouth 4-0, Liverpool beat them 2-1, Crystal Palace beat them 4-3, and Manchester City beat them 3-0. So, those 5 games, they have lost 3 times, drew once, and won 1-1. So more defeats than losses. More defeats than win. And again, Palace beat them over. But look at that, like at home as well. Like that you don't beat them quite comfortably at home. So yeah, that's their form. Predictions time. Predicted 11. The Hayton goals, back 4 of Dalot, Shaw, Lindelof, and Wan-Bissaka. I don't think Ten Hag will change that back 5. That was meant to be Eriksen in there, so please excuse me. Casemiro, Eriksen, and Bruno. I don't know why I put Fred in there. Up top, Sancho, Rashford, and Anthony. Is Martial's future in danger? I don't think so, but I think it's time we let him go. I don't think playing with a player that's injury prone and is afraid to go in for any challenges, it's tough. I mean, Casemiro's still going in for challenges, and he had a yellow card, so that's saying something else. But yeah, I mean, I think we should ship him off into somewhere. I really, really do. Some might disagree, but let us know in the comments what you do, Anthony Martial and boy. Predictions time. I went negative against Brighton. Well, I said 2-2, didn't happen. But I'm going with a Manchester United 2-1 win. Jarrod Bowen to score for them, and Bruno and Marcus Rashford to score for us. I think it's going to be not tight, but you might get Manchester United will probably be a lot more dominant, you'd hope, but West Ham will have their play. I mean, again, we do bounce back when we lose, so hopefully we can do that again. So 2-1 Manchester United, Bruno and Rashford to score for the Red Devils, and Jarrod Bowen to score probably some Woldy or something like that. But yeah, that has been the Manchester United versus West Ham Premier League preview. We do have to watch along. I'm not too sure. The game kicks off at 7. I think the game kicks off at 7. Let me check. Yeah, 7 o'clock. So join me at around 6:30 for the watch along. Gonna be an interesting game. We'll have to watch along, post match, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that has been the Manchester United vs West Ham preview. Please comment, hit that subscribe button, follow all our socials, links in the description, and you can see if you want the editor, if you want to talk about anything, please do. If you want to come on the show, let us know. And as I said at the start of the show, if you want to go if you want to basically have an update on the Manchester United ownership, we did an interview with Ben Jacobs. Brilliant show. What a guest. Such a gentleman to have on the channel. Hopefully we'll have him on again soon, no doubt about it. And we're growing, we're trying to grow, trying to bring these guests on, trying to give people the best content you can get. So yeah, link to that will be in the description. But yeah, as I said, that's been the preview, and speak to you all in a bit.